Shriyans Bhandari is an Indian author, entrepreneur, and the co-founder of Greensole.
ग्रीनसोल गरीबों के लिए जूते चप्पल कहीं से खरीदते नहीं है। ये पुराने जूते चप्पलों को रिफर्बिश करती है, उन्हें रिसाइकल करके बच्चों के पहनने लायक बना देती है। यानी जो पुराने जूते चप्पल आप और हम कचरे में फेंक देते हैं, उन्हें ग्रीनसोल नया शेप देकर जरूरतमंद बच्चों तक पहुंचाती है।
He is an ardent marathon runner who ran in 85 long-distance races. He noticed waste sneakers that had no future in life, which gave him a unique business idea of recycling used shoes.
Once the shoes reach our manufacturing unit, they are sorted out, are disassembled, whereby the sole is used to make the base of slippers. The uppers are used to make slipper straps, and the laces are used to pack the footwear ready for donation.
The vision is to create infrastructure of footwear on every foot.
We at Greensole believe in donating walks.
Any idea can work if you put an effort into it. A basic effort is required day in, day out to turn your dreams into reality. Now, I would like to invite the business executive, Mr. Shriyans Bhandari.
Let me call upon Ms. Kanvika Sharma to be the moderator for our second session, Khayal-e-Tabir, Connecting Souls to Souls.
All right. Thank you so much, Pratishtha, for the kind welcome. It is indeed a matter of immense honor and joy for me to extend a warm welcome to Mr. Shriyans Bhandari on behalf of the entire team. Well, we welcome you, sir. Well, out of everyone, I have been the one of the most excited persons who was really looking forward to this conversation because, your story has become one of the most heard tales of entrepreneurship in the country. For a matter of fact, our principal, Reverend Father Rex, has many a times narrated your story in numerous interactions with young minds in one or the other event in college. So, this brings me to my first question. We often talk about recycling and how recycling is not an option, but it's a responsibility. Yet, not everyone works around it. But Greensole is setting a great example of recycling old soles and converting them into brand new footwears. So, what was the inspiration behind the whole idea of Greensole as in social entrepreneurship?
So, very good afternoon. Wonderful being here with a young audience. And Greensole started in 2015. Ramesh, the co-founder, and I are athletes. And as athletes, we used to waste a lot of old shoes. Like you can run in an athletic shoe only for a particular period of time if you're professionally running. After that, you have to change the shoe. So we used to go through 3, 4 pairs of old shoes each year, but we didn't want to throw them away. They still looked good. That's what prompted Ramesh to actually, start working on it to see if he can mend it and use it for his daily use. So he started doing that, and that caught my attention. After that, I applied to few competitions. We were among top 30 innovators in India. We even won at IIT Bombay in a P-Plan competition, and then we got a lot of corporates supporting this cause. And overall, we go through a lot of problems in our daily life, but we don't often tend to stop and think and solve those problems. A lot of time, we wait that ideas will fall upon us, but we are the ones who need to take the initiative to work upon them. At times we have good ideas, but we don't work upon them. The main thing is action, I think. Action was the key, that we found a thing which was very close to us, a shoe, which we couldn't use. And the idea was simple to reuse it. And later we didn't know that it would have such a large implication, where today we were able to reach about 4 lakh beneficiaries across India.
That's indeed a very great achievement, and it's Truly inspiring. So, sir, entrepreneurship these days is at a solid boom. You see young people quitting jobs in the corporate sector and even in the public sector to just switch to entrepreneurship and start with their own brands. And there's a widespread saying that entrepreneurs are not born, they are made. So, do you agree with this statement?
Yeah, definitely entrepreneurs are made because for entrepreneurship, it's a very open field. You'd see people who are young starting up, people start up after retirement also. There are people who are working in a corporate and then they leave the job and start. People drop out and start. So this clearly proves that what is key in entrepreneurship is your passion and your drive. If you are really passionate about what you want to do, and without passion you won't be able to work like 10, 12 hours a day and push the idea forward. That's what is needed. It's like launching a rocket. You need a lot of propulsion at the start if there are any science students, and then when it exits the orbit, slowly the amount of force required is not as much. So overall, I want to say that no matter from which field you are, you can step into entrepreneurship. It's a skill which is acquired and not inherent. And whichever talent you have, like if you're good at finance, you're good at managing things, you'll require uh, all these talents here. So if you're good at finance, that's great. But if you're not good, that is also fine. You can find someone who's good at it. So main thing is the drive for the idea. Like we didn't know anything about footwear manufacturing, entrepreneurship, but we were very driven that we need to solve this problem. Even at the age of 19, we didn't think twice that we have with before jumping into this. So that is the attitude we need to start or become a social entrepreneur or a business entrepreneur.
That's true. So there's a stage in every entrepreneur's life, specifically where you are indecisive, or you feel that it's very uncertain to take a decision, and you have to take you are at a very important juncture and you need to decide. So have you ever faced this problem of indecisiveness in your whole journey?
A lot of times it's not a clear cut journey, and at times we do feel that we are not, at the start we were not able to recycle even one pair of footwear, so we were very upset that the workers have refused to work on it. We don't know anything about manufacturing, how we'll go ahead. But if you have that motivation within, internal motivation and discipline, you'll be able to figure out solution to any problem. So at the start, we had this issue where we were not able to even convert one pair of footwear. So that left us disheartened. Should we give up on this idea? Luckily, we didn't. We were able to get experts on board. We were able to tie up with a factory, a full-time factory who later came on board with us. There are a lot of indecisiveness because some decisions you make, like on the co-founder, on the investors, are irreversible. So you need to be very careful at those times, and you will need to make hard decisions, and there'll be a lot of challenges at each stage. And so overall, the key strategy is to view things and take it day by day, and not view things as a big problem. Things happen, you solve them, you take a decision, any decision, good or bad, and then you move forward. So take it as you go, but don't label it as a big problem. Just solve it, move ahead. That is the key.
That's true, because how long are you going to clinch on that problem and let the things get delayed? So, so looking back at your journey so far, is there anything you feel that you would have done differently when you were first starting out?
Not as such. We started at a early age, at about 18, 19 years. So I think the earlier you start, the better. And we started as a social venture. We used to upcycle shoes to slippers and then donate them. Now we've entered retail also, doing recycling of apparel, tires, and a lot of other things. Overall, a recycling solutions company, CSR plus retail. So we are quite happy with the progress we've been able to make, and we encourage that youngsters, people at a young age, college age, uh, they grab this opportunity because the pandemic will be over soon, and that is the time after which you'll see new ideas will come up. Like there were major crises after which Instagram, WhatsApp, and all the brands and all the applications that inspire us started up after a big crisis. So take this current crisis as a motivation. Think like earlier we had shared economy where you have a platform and then an aggregator. Like Uber is a platform. So, similarly seeing them, uh, like suppose Ola came up, then they copied this in the grocery space also, that we can also be a platform. So one person starts and then it starts getting applicable otherwise also. Similarly in fintech, there were wallets in US. So similarly Venmo and all. Now we have Paytm, Bharat Pay, and all these things have come up. So after the pandemic, I'm sure there'll be big disruptions. So be ready for it, be prepared, and don't wait for too long on the sidelines. That if you want to be an entrepreneur, just jump into it. There's no better time.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. That was a really fruitful advice for the people who've joined us. So, as many people in the audience might already know and must have read about, Shriyans sir is quite beautifully running Heritage Girls School, which is one of the best girls' boarding schools in the country. So, sir, a lot of people from the audience, as well as a lot of my team members, are indeed very curious to know the story or the thought process behind establishing an all-girls school, and why not a co-ed school?
So basically, if you have a single gender school, students are able to focus more, and you're able to do finishing school and a lot of other things which happen in a single gender school. All the good boarding schools you see are either only girls or only boys, and especially in Rajasthan, there are not many only girls school. So we are getting a good number of people from Rajasthan and all over the country, NRIs also now. So in a boarding school, you get to meet a lot of people at a very young age. People are coming from different parts, so it opens up your mind. And that is essentially what education is. It's figuring out, what you want to do. Once you figured out, then you can drop out and do what you need to. So that is the essence of education. And the important point is basically the Heritage Girls School, hotels, and everything is my family business. Then also, when I came up with the idea of Greensole, I didn't give up on either. I was able to work on a startup also. At the same time, was able to do the family business. So at time you'll come up with this crossroad where your family will say, whether you'll be able to do this family business or you're doing a job. So you can definitely manage multiple things together. While doing a job, also, you can start a startup. While doing a startup, also, you can parallelly have a family business. From family business, also, you can go to a startup. So, it's a complete open field, as I said, from a young age to people starting entrepreneurship after retirement. So it's a very broad field that we have. So
That's true, sir. Entrepreneurship is truly something which is encompassing one thing or the other, and an ample of business ideas. You think of it and you can transform it into a startup. So, well, as much as my intrigued self really wants to continue asking you a lot of questions, but we ask the audience to drop some interesting ones. So we have built a sort of a fun game out of it. So with your permission, can we proceed with it?
yeah, sure.
Hello.
All right. So, sir, this is a round of a this and that game. Yes, father.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, father. Please, sure. Go ahead.
Welcome, Mr. Shriyans Bhandari.
Good morning, sir. Very
Good
good
morning.
afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
So, you must be happy to hear that I have been one of your silent admirers. In fact,
Thank
I
you.
have heard about you 3 years ago, and whenever there was a chance, I have made reference to you and your enterprise. In fact, even in our college, once at Hathrai Fort, where we worked in the previous place, and here I have made reference to you. And I am very impressed with the type of work which you are doing. First and foremost, you are a young person, and you are a student and a sports person. The whole perspective you got from what I have read about you was during your running at the Priyadarshini Park, where you found a lot of shoes being thrown here and there, and then there you got an inspiration. There you got that idea of how to make wealth out of waste. Now, I also appreciate you for the noble job you have been doing of making donors out of goodwill to people who donated money. And with that money, you made shoes in the bargain. You gave a lot of employment to people. Plus, you motivated people to contribute. And also, you have brought a lot of people together for a noble cause. And also, you have been distributing free shoes to rural poor children. Highly commendable job you want. I would be happy to have people like you to be in the Xavier's family as a staff or as a student. Now, my question to you is this. In your perspective, what do you think is lacking among the modern generation of youth?
So I think people think success is easy. When we see people on TV or a magazine, we quickly become inspired by their success. But any success story is a long journey. So that, that getting used to the temperament of being in a long term journey of the ups and downs, that is slightly lacking. We've got used to uh, if you want to do a financial transaction in a second, it's done. If you want to order food in 3 minutes, you get your food. The grocery deliveries also, which are very quick. So somehow we have got into a mindset that success can be achieved easily, and we see it on face value. So it is important for the youth to understand the struggle that each person goes through. And Greensole also we started in 2015. So about it took 5 6 years to reach a certain level. It took 5 6 years of cross questioning, of improving the business model, of understanding where to donate footwear, how to contact corporates. So it's a long journey, and the earlier they start, the better, and they need to have a long term mindset. That long term mindset is very important. That we need to stick to the idea no matter what, and there'll be no quick success. So you have to enjoy the journey. I think this is the same with life also. That there's no quick result. If you need quality, you need to spend time with the idea, with the project.
Good. So please convey my greetings to your companion, your friend, Mr. Ramesh.
Thank you, sir. Certainly.
All right. Thank you so much, Father, for your question. Thank you, sir, for your answer. So continuing with the game. So this is a small round of a this or that game. I will give you two options and you have to choose one of them as quickly as possible. All right.
Sure, ready for it.
Okay, sir. Okay. Email or WhatsApp?
Email.
Reality shows or documentaries?
Documentaries.
Web series or movies?
Web series.
Instagram or Twitter?
Instagram.
Owe money to a person or owe favor to a person?
Definitely owing a favor.
All right. Work on new things and learn new skills, or work with the same skills and specialize in your work?
Work on the same skills, but be good in your work.
Great. Work from office or work from home?
From office.
Be able to read minds or be able to see the future?
Definitely more linked to the present will be being able to understand what people are thinking.
All right. So I was supposing a different answer to it. I thought you might say that being able to see the future is a valid option. But
Because
anyways,
you'll always be worried if you know what's happening next, and you can't change the future. If you said uh, change the future or change people's mind, then definitely future. But if future can't be changed, then there's no point in seeing and getting worried about it.
well, quite really thought about and agreed to it. All right, sir. So moving further, coming back to the questions. So it's usually said that success is not a destination, but a journey, wherein there are a lot of ups and downs. Was there a time when it seemed that things are not going in the planned direction for you and you felt that you might fail?
Yes, a few times, because to succeed, you need to keep reinventing yourself. There'll be like 3 years you've done well, but to get to the fifth, sixth year, you need to completely reinvent, you need to change the team, put in more effort. So there'll be multiple times where we were not able to uh, grow further. So, a lot of rethinking and whether we'll be able to make it. And you are at such a low base that you have just 5 people working in your team. So, it's as good as how much progress has happened or not happened. So those are the times. And like initially I earlier mentioned, we were not able to recycle even a single pair of shoe because the workers said that, we don't work on used shoes. It will be against our religion. So we were quite disappointed that we have this idea, but we are not getting anyone to actually implement it. And all the shoes we get were different, like sport shoe, formal shoes. So we were not able to figure out the technique because we were not in the footwear background. So we didn't give up. We kept trying and we were able to crack it. That first pair upcycle then led to this 500,000 pairs that we'll be upcycling this year. So a lot of times,
That's
as I said, that long-term attitude is very important.
That's true. That's true. It's always said for entrepreneurs that one thing which you need to learn before stepping into a startup zone is patience, because you cannot
Patient.
just get things done in one go. That's true.
I don't know if you remember or not, Facebook was not as popular in the first 2, 3 years. It was after the 3 years that it got mass acceptance when people started realizing that their friends are on Facebook. So why not? They should also download this app and sign up. So Facebook
True.
also took 4 or 5 years before it became popular. So you can understand that even if it's a very successful startup, it will take time. But the beautiful thing here is that if you want to make a very big startup, you can do it in 10 years also now. That earlier, if you want to become big, it will take 20, 30 years. So that time has definitely reduced to 10 years because of the help we have from the investors. We have angel investors, VC capital. There are people who are more supportive. You can reach out to them very quickly. So definitely a 5 to 10 year perspective is required if you are doing a project and you need to be focused for 10 years in a row to
That's
become a
true.
master at it. Like if you're an athlete, you need 10 years to reach Olympics if you constantly practice the same thing. So similar is with entrepreneurship.
I can completely agree to that. Being from a family of mixed entrepreneurs, I can understand that it's the seeding stage of business that you require to accomplish very well in order to, grow in 5 to 6 years. So that's something very important. Patience is one of the key elements. So, sir, you've put your heart and soul completely in achieving your goal effectively and efficiently. So, how do you maintain a peaceful? work-life balance, being a successful entrepreneur, an author, and the director of a school. These are like three very big responsibilities.
Yes, that is true. Uh, so I have a good team under me. Like in the school, we have the principal, vice principal, the admin, and the system. You need to create a system in each place such that your the quality also doesn't go down and you're able to monitor. It's same as there are companies who have 100 companies under them, 100 portfolios. There are people who are not able to manage even one. So it's your management skills which you develop over time. And I think the key here is prioritizing. Are you able to prioritize what are the important things in each business and look at them and have a good team? Prioritizing and good team. These are the two key areas, and you can manage multiple things. You can have multiple startups. You can have a big bandwidth if you learn these two things.
Quite agreed. So, what is your mantra behind being a perfectionist in practice? Do you believe there is some sort of a set pattern or formula that a person should follow in order to walk the path of success?
They should stay disciplined. At times, everyone loses focus, but if you are focused, if you're able to think from a cool mind, you'll be able to come up with solution to any problem. So consistency, discipline, resourcefulness, and the setting up a team, monitoring, these are the key areas, I think. And there's a lot of self belief. So all the quotes you need read will come into practical once you start doing entrepreneurship. So there are no easy things in life. Work hard. These things. So all these things will come into practical when you are doing entrepreneurship. Stay disciplined. Stay focused. I think it's not as tough, but don't take things as face value. See, like you have a iceberg and you see only 10% of iceberg, 90% is below underwater. So it's a similar situation. Try to understand the entire picture and learn from whoever inspires you.
So, taking the session forward, we'll have one more round of a fun game, which is a rapid fire round. So in this round, I will give you an alphabet, and you have to name any three words, or you have to give me any three words which come to your mind within 5 seconds. For example, if I give you the alphabet C, so you might give me the words cat, card, or calculator, or anything like that. So, shall we go ahead with it?
Sure, sure. You can give me the alphabet G, I think.
All right.
G and E.
All right. So, as you wish, the alphabet is G.
So Greensole, green, and greenathon.
Okay. The next alphabet is P.
P for poem, principle, and practical.
All right. So we'll take one more quick alphabet, and it will be H.
H for I think holiday and happy and hope.
Three things we have been living for the past 1 or 2 years, I think. Holidays, happiness, and hope. We've been
Yeah.
really looking forward to it, but
Summary
COVID
of
isn't just allowing.
2020, and we didn't think it will happen again in 21. So it's a continued work from home.
That's true. We believe like COVID is planning our schedules for the past
Yeah.
1 or 2 years.
3 months
So
now
it's not
lockdown.
really in our hands.
Yes, yes, truly.
All right, sir. So, like, sir, as father also asked you, I might want to ask you one of the same questions. Like, there's a lot of change or development taking place in the modern world today. People do say it a modern world. I don't know the reason why. But if you are asked to change three things in today's world. So, what would they be?
I think first is changing yourself. You have to look inward and change yourself. Then you can make a change outside. In the outside world, personally, things will go on. I think, every time new things will come, policies will change, the prime ministers will change, things will happen. So, uh, not much of outward perspective, but work on yourself, build your own bubble, work on your idea, work on your projects, goals. That will be my key message. So, no
All
attempt
right.
in the
So,
outside
as
modern world. It will keep progressing and having its own problems and things. You focus on your internal world, your internal changes, and find out three things that you'll change within yourself. Find three qualities that you'll implement within yourself. That is the key.
So, as we move towards the end of this dynamic session, I would also request the audience to drop in questions if you have any to ask the answer in the chat box. We'll take them up, or you can send them to the meeting host and we'll take them up from there. And so, this is the last question I would pose in front of you for today. If you had to give one piece of advice to someone who's just starting out in the journey, so what would it be as an entrepreneur?
So, don't try and predict the future. Do not time it. Do not think that 1 year will be here, second year will be there. It will not happen. Just focus on your present, on your today. If you are at zero, how you'll reach to one. If you are at one, you've developed a product, how you'll find the market. That is two. So, take it step by step. It will not happen as you predict. That's my advice. And also to all of you, do participate with Greensole. Collect shoes once maybe your college start. It's offline again, so do participate. We'll also inform you if there are any donation drives. So do stay in touch so that you are able to be involved with some environmental and social good.
Definitely. So, thank you so much, sir, for answering all our questions. I think we have a few questions from the audience as well. And one of them is if you allow us, can we take them up?
Sure, sure, please.
All right. What all problems and challenges did you face during the pandemic?
So pandemic, we went a year back. So we were expecting, like I said, don't predict and expect. So we were expecting that our reach will be like 2 lakh pairs upcycled. So we went a year back, and that is it. We have a very small team, about 20 people. Our expenses are low. We don't have debt, so it didn't really impact us, but we did go a year back in growth, but we tried to compensate it with things we could learn in that period. Like we were able to develop more products, we were able to work on our e-commerce. So even during this resting period, we were able to strengthen some of the things that that we think will help us in the long term. But it's a good learning that if we are able to cross COVID, we'll be able to cross a lot of other such big challenges.
All right, so very well said and very well worked out. So, moving to one more question. Do you believe in luck?
Yeah, there is luck, but you need to be present there to uh, take benefit of it. Luck is basically good timing. Like you wanted something and that thing happened for you. That is luck. So if the more, like if there are 100 days, if you participate on 100 days, then you're very lucky because on 4-5 days you'll get what you want. Example. But if you're not working or you're not present there, so then there's no luck. So luck is basically just things that you predict and they happen as it is. That is luck. So I think focus more on hard work. Luck will play its part. It plays its part in everyone's journey. It pushes you and gives you the extra edge. If you're able to go only till 10, it takes you till 12. But to go till 10, you need to get out of bed, get on the ground, get your hands dirty, work hard. That is it.
That's true, sir. So I think we'll take one last question from the audience, and that is, what does success mean to you? What is the definition of success for you?
It is having the ability to inspire someone. If you do something that inspires people, that motivates people to do good, to follow you, I think that is success.
All right. So, well, all good things must come to an end. And so we come to the end of this beautiful and truly insightful session. Thank you so much, sir, for so humbly answering all our questions and taking in all the fun challenges from our end. It's rightly said that the most noble souls in the world are also the most humble ones. And Shriyan, sir, you are a true epitome of that. So thank you so much, sir, from taking out time from your busy schedule and sharing your inspiring ideas with our young demographic. We wish that the light of your soul brightens the world around wherever you go and inspires many more people. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today.
Thank you, Kanvika. Thanks, Principal Sir, also for always supporting us. It's because of all the supporters, some silent supporters, some visible, that we're able to reach till here.
Shriyans, you are most welcome to visit Jaipur, our college.
Yes, sir. Whenever I'm in Jaipur, I'll definitely visit.
Yeah, most welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone from the audience as well, to listening our conversation. That was Mr. Shriyans Bhandari for you. I hope you all had a great time listening to the conversation. And thank you so much, Shriyan sir, once again.